Again, if you guys are just joining us on the Fox News Now stream, this is live aerials in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, where a man was shot and killed by police after an altercation that happened earlier today. Police visited an apartment complex, and when they got there, they saw a man in a car who they said believed to have a gun. When he got out of the car, they said that they saw a gun. They said that the man was making threats, and that is when they fired their weapons. And now the protests are happening live right now in Charlotte, North Carolina. You guys are watching this all unfold right now. Again, viewer discretion is advised while we watch these protests.
They were out with 2 officers. Okay, 25 is on Old Concord at Harris on the inbound side. What are we doing with 8 right now to relieve? (6116), we got 6 officers on Old Concord at Souther blocking the road. Do we need to maintain this position or move further down towards Harris?
Again, they are going to investigate what happened today, so we will be able to find out more information after the investigation. But right now, that officer has been put on paid administrative leave, and the man was taken to the hospital where he later died tonight. And these are the protests that you're watching live right now in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Let's back that van up on Harris and get moving. Thanks for that. Hey, can we get some water up there, guys? To the gas. Sorry to ask these. Do you want another bus? Can you bring some water up here? Can somebody bring a case up here, please? Hey, Tucker, hold up. JJ Flower.
There was a press conference. I do want to tell you guys there was a press conference with those police officers. They said, quote, he was armed with a handgun that we found on scene. He made an imminent threat to them. Because of that, at least one of the officers fired rounds at that man. That was said during a press conference earlier this evening. That man was taken to Carolina's Medical Center with life-threatening injuries, where he later passed away.
Northbound on Harris is just at the bridge at 49.
The family members say that the man was disabled and reading a book in the vehicle while waiting to pick up a child from school.
Adams to the command center.
But detectives said that they were able to recover the gun that the individual was holding at the time of the shooting, and they're in the process of investigating what exactly happened tonight. But again, these are live protests. People marching down the street. Earlier we saw people kicking cop cars. So viewer discretion is advised if anything happens here. Anything could happen. We don't know how this is going to unfold, but you're watching this live on the Fox News Now stream in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, we got it coming to you. We're off the shore. What's your 20?
South of the red lights. What's your name? Hey, kid, we got a lull. Everybody's behaving themselves pretty good right now. This might be a good opportunity to see what happens if we start backing up. Just stand by and make a boy his card ready, I believe, or somebody's. Who's over here?
Ten 13 to 455. Can you give an approximate head count the number of protesters on Harris? North. Yeah, that's it. We're standing by. We just got back up here. Looks like you've got a group of about 30 to 40 on Harris over University City. Then you've got a contingent, a group further up of probably 50 or so stretched out over about a quarter of a mile in between University City and North Tryon Street.
Damaged.
So 30 before you had another group of 50. That's 10-4.
There's a better falls. It's the call. Manager Pearsall, you copy? Pearsall. Is that your... Alright, we only got a chance. We gotta move this car before we start moving back.
Where's the city bus station? Hey, are we redeploying any CUSS up here to Tryon and Harris? Which is where about the 50 to 75 we're walking towards now.
Pearsall ahead of us.
Jackson to 455. If you can just keep us advised of that group on Harris near Tryon. We've got
As you can see, cars and several people
just
just slowly walking up the streets right now. Earlier, it did look a little bit more violent.
Logistics officer that has
We did see
keys
people
to a
kicking
Dodge
police
Charger.
cars earlier.
Pearsall.
All right, 455. Looks like we've got about 20 or so that have stopped on the bridge. They've hung some sort of a banner here, and looks like the rest of them are moving up towards Kent Hoffman. So we've got a string of subjects from the bridge eastbound up to Kent Hoffman. Correction, westbound up to Kent Hoffman.
All right, Lieutenant Sanders. Go ahead. Hey, I've got a car 032 up here at Harris and Old Concord. Box, no keys. Can't get anybody to answer up. I need to move.
Can the record get there safely?
John.
Does everybody have the keys for Mark's car 398?
All right, command, we're going to be moving this, the officers back, see what happens. Sure, just be advised, our staging location's pretty much cleared out up here. Handful. Wise, you can go all the way up. Roger. Danny Graham, do y'all have an extra air tank on y'all's mule or whatever you're on? Holding the hump. We don't have a mule down here. CFD's been shuttling me and Danny and the munitions around. We don't have a mule. All right, do y'all have an extra air tank so we can refill these federal guys we need to?
If you guys are just joining us earlier, there were large protests. They're still going on right now, but it's definitely calmed down a little bit more than earlier this evening. A man was shot and killed by police earlier this evening in Charlotte, North Carolina. And these are the live protests that you are watching right now on the Fox News Now stream.
String of this group is coming up to North Tryon Street.
Cars coming westbound on W.T. Harris, right at Old Concord.
Hey, 455 Command, we've got these subjects spread out on Harris from 49 all the way up to 29, and we've got a traffic gridlock up here in both directions. We're going to need to get some resources up here.
Gary Danny, officer at Home Depot. $1026, I'm standing by at the Home Depot. Drop down University Conference.
Hey, Strick, I've also got some spare bottles that are full as well if we need to switch any out without filling them. That's good, boy. Look, we got the truck with air on it and tanks. That's it, boy.
Looks like some of them are also using their vehicles to block vehicular traffic. Jackson, looks like you guys are 10-4 at 27 for now.
10-4, thanks.
Looks like we might be losing the feed. Well, actually, it looks like the helicopter is leaving the scene there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, you guys were watching earlier that there was a protest in Charlotte, North Carolina. The helicopter is leaving the scene, so we had to get out of that feed. But they are going to investigate what happened today. It was said that a man was shot and killed by police after he showed that he might have a weapon. We're going to get all those details for you tomorrow. We stream from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday here on the Fox News Now stream. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to us so you can see these live videos in your feed every day. That is the end of the Fox News Now stream for tonight, but thank you guys for joining us.
Here's from Old Concord, so they're coming up the ramp to you.
Adams to Willis.
ST's Adams. Are you on Harris?
They got one Concord. Sweden location. 10 for the ST. I'm on Harris. Chief Foster. Adams to SD. Mental.
What he's calling.
What's that?
455, you have your lights on command here.
On the berm.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important
transparency.
Down to Sergeant Cromer. Are you anywhere near the command post back there in Old Concord? Correction, rehab.
I'll probably logistics vehicles leaning.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find him.
Hey, is there an LRAD out here at all?
Yes. Well, they're breaking at it.
Jackson to command.
Looking for Officer White?
Yeah, looking for Officer. Oh my.
Yes, sir.
I need you to come down here and you got to get to the officers.
Negative, I don't have 423.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm sorry. I'm just putting out an all call for the keys at 423. 423 is parked on the ramp here. Guys, I need everybody listening up for these. Your car, and you have the keys, and we need to get to you and get. 423, 561.
423 is logged on by Suggs, Courtney Suggs.
I'm down 561-902 on the.
You said you had the keys in 120?
Where's the cars up 32 years? Holding in on logistics. We got any spare batteries? Got guys running out of battery juice down here. On the way for the LEC. Decker. Go ahead. There's a bus behind you on the other side of the road. That's where you turn on that bus. They're going to get a OC bus.
1314. Is that for SWAT Decker or Sergeant Decker?
SWAT Decker. Sorry, SWAT Decker.
Got it, Campbell. Where's the bus at?
Other side of the road under the bridge behind you. Just work your way to the other side of the road and follow it to where it goes. Just trail behind it.
Down.
What up to the units on WT Harris westbound at Old Concord? Do not send any vehicles up here. They've got the intersection completely blocked off.
Anybody down there? They're trying to get away from the traffic. There's somebody set on Harris and they're coming up trying to get away.
Okay.
455, guys, they moved construction barriers, Jersey barriers in the middle of Harris at North Tryon Street. They've got Harris completely shut down at North Tryon Street.
Take on sudden stops in Nissan, Sentra, Altima, and Maxima with intelligent safety shield technology.
I'm pretty sure everybody that's surrounding me right now is tired of this. We're tired of this.
72 months.
Y'all white, I don't see y'all coming.
$179 per month lease on Ultima.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all just a light of bird.
Tommy Country
I mean,
Fair.
they don't see that.
Every
They
car
see a gold
deserves
plate
a happy
or a
odor.
silver plate on their chest that make them super
Seeing his old Concord Road,
when it
Murphy
really,
shot
they
up
put on
another
their pants the same way we
42-year-old
do.
Keith
They
Lamont.
brush our teeth. They teeth the same way we do. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this last question. How long are you going to be out here tonight? I mean, what's going to keep you going out here?
Where do you need
Until y'all film full. Until y'all film full and y'all go get some more film and keep coming back. We ain't going nowhere. Y'all gonna have to get 10 more cameras.
So you guys like the fact that we're out here helping?
Yeah, I like that. I like y'all trying to get the message, or you trying to get your report to get paid.
The truth.
Which one are you trying to do?
The longer I'm out here, I don't get paid anymore for being out here.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, that's good, man.
Somebody
y'all like the report.
About the man who was basically a terrorist, who basically set up bombs and basically had a war with the police, and he didn't get killed. And you have men who basically don't do anything, basically seem like they're doing something because they're black, get killed because they seem like they're doing something wrong. But you have somebody who had a all-out war with the police, and they took him to jail. They didn't kill him. Who was one of those? We wouldn't make it. How do you feel about this?
I'm not allowed to give my opinion right here. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
What do you take away from tonight as far as when earlier tonight, 10 o'clock, I know police officers were trying to leave and we saw a lot of things getting thrown, glass bottles, plastic bottles, rocks. Is that, what do you take away from that?
I don't
trying to leave.
I don't condone it, but what it's basically saying is now we're not gonna sit here and die. We're not gonna sit here and let y'all kill us. We're here, we're not going anywhere, so y'all gonna have to hear us out and work with us together so we can be one people. It's not right that we have racism and we have people just being killed just because of the skin of their color, their skin, excuse me. I'm just so worked up about this whole situation. That's the only reason why I'm out here tonight. I'm not here to start any violence or do anything wrong with the police, but we just need to unify as a people, understand that no matter what color you are, you should be allowed to have life and live and be free and walk the earth without being killed just because you're dark.
And don't get me wrong. I wasn't saying that you were one of the people being violent or anything like that. Well, what's your name?
My name is Ali.
Ali.
Jennings and Christenberry.
Anything else you want to add? Just take away. Oh, let me ask you this. Have you felt?
Are you able to read the
Because I know tonight, I know that the protesting that's going on right now, it's not all just because of what took place earlier tonight. How much of this is coming from any sort of what's believed to be systemic racism, or just something that maybe has been
This is the reality that
we
we live in since I was born. I'm 26 years old, about to be 27. I walked into this racism. I was born into this. I was born learning that the skin of my color was ugly. When I grew up in school, people would tell me that dark was. People would say, "Oh, your black ass." People would think it was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was racism that was instilled into our membrane for us to hate ourselves. I was born into this. My father was born into this. His father was born into this, and we're tired. We're not going to sit down here and die and let y'all kill us. No, we're going to stand together and unify and show y'all that we are educated and that we're not going to allow y'all to kill us. We here. What do y'all want us to do? Where do y'all want us to go? I just don't understand. Like the man was reading a book or had a book, picking up his child or something of that nature. He had no weapon, and the lady said a big angry black guy. A big angry black guy. Come on now. Do you do it? Am I a skinny, angry black guy? I don't got nothing else to say, bro.
Thanks, Ali.
So
we're going to start heading down this way.
Just get over here to the major.
Again, thanks for tuning in with us. If you guys are checking out on our website, fox46charlotte.com. So this is just about 200 yards away from where all the protests began. Again, all this surrounding 43 African-American male was gunned down by a police officer earlier this afternoon. So protesting been going on for hours and hours and hours. A lot of people very emotional.
We're trying to get resources up there.
Actually, I want to talk to this guy right here with the hat.
We have zero presence up here now. We have no
We
element
did
here.
talk and we were having some microphone issues, and I had to go back and get a new microphone. So I want to let you say your 2 cents. Give me your reaction on why you're out here tonight with all the rest of protesters, people who want to change.
Man, just the injustice, man. Just
the
movement all together. I think that, me, I'm 28-year-old African-American male. My question is, again, what should we tell our kids? Should we tell our kids to abide by the law and respect the police? Should we tell them to be scared of the police, run away? You get what I'm saying? What should we tell our kids?
What are you telling them right now?
My son is one. I'm sitting here. That's what's going through my brain right now. Is my son is 1 year old. What do I tell him when he become of age and he starts to really see reality? Right now he watching cartoons and he biting on pans and stuff. You get what I'm saying? So what's going through my mind right now is what do I tell my son when he does get of age? You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I just bought a gun today. Illegally, I bought a gun today.
Illegally or?
No, legally. Legally.
I was like,
legally.
I'm not trying to twist it.
I don't think you were trying to twist it. I went down by the courthouse. I picked up my permit. I went to Hyatt Gun Shop, Wilkerson, and I bought a gun. But my thing is I just bought a house. I bought a gun to protect my house. So if I get pulled over and I have this gun, what they gonna shoot your ass. What they gonna do? What do I have to be worried? What do I have to be worried about to protect my household? I'm not saying that don't take this wrong. I'm not saying that the police is punks and bees and hoes and all that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is hold your
we have batteries and radios up here on Concord. Where do you need them at?
For what they do. Just like you gonna hold this man accountable for messing up your camera time, or your camera shot, with your hair swooped to the side and everything. You gonna hold them accountable for messing that up. All I'm asking is for the police, from the city cops all the way to the FBI, all the way to chiefs, whoever we elect. hold them accountable for what they do.
Because we don't vote. We're going to be
Let me ask you this. I know that...
Hey, Roselle is the University Team Officer Squad. Start heading towards North Tryon and Harris.
More than 90% of what's been happening tonight has been peaceful. It's just been loud, but loud isn't necessarily bad. Right. But it's been mostly peaceful. There have been people that have been small amount of people here have been violent, you know, throwing rocks, glass, things like that. Is coming out here tonight the best way to get the message across? I'm not saying it is or isn't. I just want to know, is this
not
down here?
I think it's a start. You know, I think that I think that it starts the conversation to say, you know, what do we really need to do on both ends? Like I said, I'm not a police officer, so I can't sit here and say whether I will feel threatened if someone, you know, pulled out a, whatever the case may be. I don't know if he pulled out a book, I don't know. But what I'm saying is they don't walk in our shoes, we don't walk in theirs. Someone needs to come together and say, look, we need to sit them down, and they need to talk together about how to make the situation better. Right now, it's just, they feel like, you know, they by themselves, and we feel like we by ourselves. And it shouldn't feel like that. Because justice will never come like that. It'll always be protests, whether it's in Charlotte, Oklahoma, whether it's in New York, New Jersey, Oklahoma, it doesn't matter. I think something needs to happen where we come together and make a solution.
Let me ask you this lastly. Say next week, video comes out, not saying it's going to happen next week, but say you get a definite answer.
University conference.
What's your reaction going to be if he was unarmed? What's your reaction going to be if he was armed? What's your reaction going to be if it appears that he was at fault? And what's your reaction going to be if it appears he was not at fault?
If he was unarmed, I think it's a terrible situation.
And let me before you say that. Okay. Not saying that making hint that he was armed.
No, I understand.
Point that he's at
I understand your question.
I
understand your question.
Right. So I'm not. Plenty of people. Right.
Sir, if this is a black African American community, right? So if you are afraid to come here and police in this fucking community, why are you here? Why are you so afraid of black people? Does black equate bad? I have brothers and cousins and nephews and god kids out here. I'm afraid for them. A man was just shot down
yesterday. 23 at the hospital. Do you still want him there? You want us to call through?
Talk about Jonathan Farrell, yes. He was shot 10 times, and 8 of those times he was crawling on the dang on ground. Why is that okay? It was a deadlocked jury, so yes, it's important that we're out here because it starts a conversation. No one should be shot down like that. You have a mother? Does she love you? Guess what? That man had one too. He had kids. He had a wife. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, he had a book. So we're not supposed to read now? Is that what's supposed to be? I mean, really, you know? Really. So, I mean, yes, we're angry. We're tired of this. Black blood is being spilled every day in this country. So yes, I'm angry, I'm tired,
the leaders are pointing to the off-ramp from 85.
You see all these people here, standing solidarity, black, white, Latino, gay, straight, we're all here because you know what, we're tired of this.
People all the way from Wisconsin.
We're tired of this.
Units at Old Concord and Harris, can you let someone under the bridge who lives at the apartment complex right past the bridge?
No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice!
Protesters are heading on to I-85. They're heading on to northbound I-85 on the exit route to Harris.
I didn't get to finish. If you want to finish what you were saying, is there anything else you want to add?
What was your question?
I was just asking if everything came out and it appeared he was at fault, what would your reaction be? And if everything came out and it appeared he completely was not at fault, what would your reaction be?
I just feel like this is one situation of many. You know, whether he was unarmed, whether he was unarmed. I feel like that there's different techniques that police officers can use to take down what they feel is a threat to them or a threat to the community. You understand what I'm saying? They're strapped with different things. Baton, taser, mace. It doesn't matter. Different techniques to take you down. De-escalate the situation before you escalate the situation. I think what officers is doing, no matter what the situation is, I think that they're just jumping to, okay, I feel like my life is in danger, so let me just eliminate this guy before trying to decide make any other decisions. You understand what I'm saying?
Do we have any
so
more
I just
police
think that this is
vehicles that need to be
one
towed?
situation of many. If he was armed, I'm sorry for the family, you know what I'm saying? But if he was unarmed, something needs to be done. We can't keep making excuses for officers saying, well, they was justified in what they did. You know what I'm saying? We need to hold one accountable. I don't think none has been held accountable. Just hold one accountable. If you hold one accountable, let's see what the change may be. If you hold one accountable for what they do. That's it.
Thank you for your time. What we're going to do right now is we're going to make our way a little bit past this area of the protest, and I want to show you the line of police officers who are in riot gear. You know, we've been in this huddle for so long talking to people. I want you guys to understand that there's still plenty of police officers out here.
Turn them off.
You know,
Turn off your blue lights on Harris Boulevard.
Here as well. And again,
blue lights on Harris at 85. Turn off your blue lights.
Come out here, bring water.
Alright, 455, we've got them north and southbound 85, blocking north and southbound 85. We're going to need units out here 18.
And if correct, you get a shot of that.
So I've got some units that just showed up here at the church on the clean.
I'm going to get a shot of these police
Stop
officers.
6 officers if you got can jump in.
These officers have been out here for hours, you know.
Command, they've got the entire interstate shut down now. 85 north and southbound. All 10 or 12 lanes are shut down.
Actually trying to leave the scene. One officer came up to me and said, "Hey, heads up, I just want to let you know that me and because we're about to roll out of here." That was at 10 o'clock, and if you're watching now, you know that it's about 20 minutes till 2 a.m. And here they are still out here. I think Brett's getting shot right now of a truck that brought them here. We have at least a few dozen officers here on scene, but this protest is really spaced out throughout this whole university area of Charlotte. This is by far not limited just to this one area. We've seen Harris Boulevard shut down with protesters. We've seen protesters going all the way towards Tryon Street. Really just kind of all over the place right now.
We'll be out here all night, homeboy. All night. You ready? Biggest gang in the city. Right here. Biggest gang in the city. Came to make a fight. Y'all see who came to dress for what?
What was that last traffic? Where is that vehicle going to be towed at? Harrison Concord? The same one that will be towing that Lieutenant Johnson called back before. Come on.
Alright, 455, they've now vehicles out on the interstate. Interstate with vehicles.
Anyway, right? I lay on the ground, they gonna kill me anyway. No weapon on me, they gonna kill a nigga anyway. I'm fall asleep, homeboy. I'm sorry. They should smack his bitch ass. Don't smack him, because they gonna
So I think we're going to head out right now. We're going to stop this live stream for a minute. We're going to go to a different scene and we'll jump back right up when we get there. But again, thanks for staying with us over on Twitter. Check me out, David Fox 46 on Twitter. Thanks guys.
Officers at Old Concord and McLean near the church, advise what you have.
Foley, we don't have anything. We just had some officers that we're able to clear, and we've got, 5 or 6 that are available, but we're headed to you to try to deploy.
Okay, we heard some chanting going on up at the bridge top over there, so is that nothing?
I don't know, we're looking the other way on the bridge.
Was anyone looking for keys to 279?
That keys to 279?
Yes, I have the keys to 279.
What's your 20? We'll find you.
At the command post.
Edward, Jameson, see me up here.
Guys under this bridge on 85, make sure you're not going to get hit by a rock from up above. Park your car directly under the bridge. Do not get hit by a rock above.
455 command, these drivers out on the interstate are starting to drive through these lines.
Should we move? Try to let them come through.
It looks like you got 50 to 75 on the interstate now.
For now. 10-4.
And it looks like they've also blocked the off-ramp from northbound 85 onto Harris, stopping traffic from getting off the interstate. And they've also blocked traffic getting on to southbound Harris, or correction, southbound 85 from Harris. Now you've got it. Where's on 85?
Have they got it blocked with barricades or just people?
Yes, both.
Let's get CU down here and see if we can get these barricades out. Maybe we can get some traffic flowing, okay?
Milligan at 455. We're moving up with the bear to support that unit to do rescues if we need to. We're leaving University Hospital, which is our safest route to the front center. The vast majority of the crowd is going to be on the southbound side. They have to jump that median wall to get to the other side. I said Milligan is CU commander on scene at 85 in Harris. We're coming down and he wants to stay right there on Harris on the off ramp.
Milligan, just hang behind them and support as needed.
That's it, right? Copy that, but I don't know where they are. I don't know where they're pointed. Where would you? Of Harris, just everything blocked up through here with either homes or people. So just anywhere close, I would imagine. I think we'll leave that part behind.
Launch to command. I've got a squad of 8 officers up here finishing up rehabbing on Old Concord. Where do we need to deploy them? CU.
Let's notify SHP. We've got around on 85 driving the opposite way on 85.
Is WT Harris westbound opened up again?
Yeah, that's in more. With the exception of onlookers over 85, it looks like it's open.
Simple. Hey, Roselle Squad, what's your 20?
We're on 85 northbound underneath the bridge under Harris. We've got 4 cars.
Vincent the King, how many do you have on the bus?
Somewhere around 40.
Look at this poor guy.
We're not picking up a hitchhiker.
He could very easily be a serial killer.
And I don't want to be late to Mom's wedding.
Hey, fellas. We got a nervous Nelly here. So this is going to sound like a funny question, but are you a serial killer?
I am not a serial killer.
You just emphasized the word serial. You're still not saying, I promise I'm not a killer.
I don't see it in this crowd at this point. I haven't seen anybody pick up anything.
Listen to command.
You can still see the cell phones all lit up, though. I will say earlier tonight, Paul, we were watching on Twitter. We were watching some of the situations unfold online, and you would see protesters. This is probably 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Protesters get right up in the faces of officers, and I think it must be noted that the officers, because they can't, did not react. And they sit there and they take it, or they stand there and they take it, and we saw that repeatedly happen over and over. And it's not even that you know why the protesters are necessarily upset. Some of them, would even just be swearing and saying things, making it a bigger picture issue, which, of course, absolutely this is a very tense situation, and there are two sides to the story, make no doubt. But you would see videos of people up in the faces of officers, and officers not being able to do anything but stand there.
Well, Molly, we saw that at the Democratic National Convention quite a bit. Officers used their bikes as sort of a moving fence. Protesters would get right up to one officer and give him a tongue lashing, and he'd take it for a couple of minutes, and when he couldn't take it anymore, another officer would fill his place, and the protesters actually shouted themselves out because they would scream so loud they would lose their voice, and there was more cops than there were protesters. Now, this is a problem because there's many more protesters than cops tonight. And the police, as we said, trying to push them back, trying to disperse them. It has worked somewhat, but they have not gone home. There's a lot of people who are just there just to see what's happening.
A lot of this video that we're seeing, it looks like some officers are getting hurt by rocks. It looks like various things have been thrown. Obviously, Sarah Blake said earlier, water bottles. We saw the water bottles. We never saw the bricks. Sarah Blake said she thought it might be a brick. We're not sure for that. Not sure of that. But it does definitely seem, again, this is the video. I want to make sure. If it doesn't say live in the corner, it's video from earlier. So what you're seeing right here is video from earlier, and these crowds do not seem to be this big anymore, but there are still crowds out there, and the live pictures will show. If we can go to the live pictures right now from Sky 3, you will see there are people out there. It's harder to see because the spotlight isn't there. You know what? Snoopy's spotlight isn't there. I wonder if Snoopy, the police helicopter, had to go refuel. It did have to go refuel. So that is why we can't see.
We just got a tweet from the mayor of Charlotte. Jennifer Roberts says she is in touch with the manager, the chief, and others monitoring the situation closely. So the mayor of Charlotte is watching what's going on tonight.
Of course, I think really the whole city is. And Snoopy, the police helicopter, presumably will be back after it refuels. We know it takes, 2 to 5 minutes to do that, depending on exactly where they're going back. They have, well, they have a couple of places, I think, that the helicopter can go. So we do think Snoopy will be back with the spotlights, so we'll be able to see a little more clearly.
Sky 3 will also have to refuel at some point.
With Mallard Creek and University City Boulevard.
It's hard to show it from the ground. You really need the helicopter view. But this is videotape from earlier, and you can see SWAT men with sticks forcing back the crowd again. And we're seeing a little of the spotlight there, Molly. And
I think that's the videotape.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's live right there.
Okay, that is live pictures. So maybe Snoopy is back now with the spotlight. And they are walking away from the scene of where the SWAT team is in riot gear. And we want to keep with this coverage because it's obviously our city. And we know many of you watching care, and we don't know exactly how it's going to end at this point. We can only hope and pray that it will end peacefully and that police are able to get everybody to go home. And then tomorrow start the investigation into exactly what happened. But at least for tonight, to get everybody home safely. And again, these are live pictures. We cannot always tell you exactly what gestures we're going to see. But that's why we're sticking with this coverage. We know it's our city, and we're trying to make sure everybody understands exactly what's going on in North Charlotte. Again, this is in the University City area. It started about 4 o'clock today when a CMPD officer, Officer Brentley Vinson, shot and killed a 43-year-old man, Keith Lamont Scott. They were trying to serve a warrant. They said he was armed. They said they felt an imminent deadly threat. And Keith Lamont Scott's family, he's a father of 7, did not say that was the case and said he wasn't armed. In fact, they said they thought he had a book and it wasn't a gun. Now, whether he was armed or not, police feel convinced he was. The family says he wasn't. We'll figure it out.
Police say he found a gun. They found a gun. And again, this is live. This is Sky 3 again.
So the tear gas
watching
is
more
back.
tear gas. Oh, this is earlier. Okay, I thought it looked familiar. This is from earlier. This is not live right now. We saw the protesters marching down the street the same area. And so what we're seeing here is all that tear gas around that police cruiser that got stomped by the crowd.
And that police cruiser is now out of the scene. We did see officers drive it away. It was still able to be driven. It did not need to be towed.
This is a lot of tear gas, Molly.
It is a lot of tear gas, Paul. It is.
Are we back live again? We are back live? Yeah, we're back live again. Protesters marching down the street, and this is a peaceful protest. It's what it should be.
And they are walking away from that scene where they had a lot of the tear gas. And the cell phones are lighting the way. That is what those lights are. Interesting, I find, in this day and age where all of it plays out on social media and encourages some people to come and the agitators get involved. But that's what those lights are. We've been seeing those lights and we've been talking about this all night, but the social media is a huge role in this shooting that again happened at 4 o'clock today, and for 6 hours we've been following how, 8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
Do my math, Molly. They're going over an overpass here. Where exactly is this, Paul? Can you tell? Is that WT Harris?
It's going over WT Harris, I believe.
That's going over WT Harris. You can see the road is, except for some police cruisers, and I think that's an ambulance maybe, there is nobody on there but emergency vehicles, so that must be a road that was shut down or at least limited traffic. It's still a pretty large group.
And we're still marching. Now, what's left back at the original scene? That's what I'm wondering. Do we have anybody else back there, or are these people just decided to go on?
Well, their arms are all up. They're in a unified position.
Can we find that out from Alex Giles or Colleen Harry or Sarah Blake Morgan? You know, how many people are left? How many people are left? Are they all left? That's the big question at this point, because if they're all leaving and dispersing, that's exactly what CMPD wants.
Well, that's what we all want. Everybody wants that to happen. CMPD's been working hard to try and make that happen. And again, the investigation will start and continue. I guess it will continue tomorrow. The officer has been placed on leave. That is typical, as that happens in these types of situations. It is standard procedure with any officer-involved shootings for the Internal Affairs Bureau to conduct a separate investigation to determine whether CMPD procedures were followed correctly.
The mayor now says the community deserves answers and full investigation will ensue. We'll be reaching out to community leaders to work together. Mayor Roberts putting out that tweet just moments ago. You're seeing it on your screen.
Command.
And we are now, let's see.
Is that a CATS bus?
That's what it looks like.
Taking officers back, I wonder, or trying to get protesters?
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
Hard to see in that low light.
Well, they do have a city bus there.
Or a post on Facebook that all your friends will see.
Assistance in trying to disperse the crowd.
And also to bring reinforcements from the police department in. And now take them out.
Division Officer Wallace. Mention the King. You guys need to double step. We gotta go.
We're 23.
Adams to Captain Bowling.
This proves it. Everybody just loves Blackish. I cried like Whoopi in Color Purple.
Well,
They've already won an NAACP award and a Peabody. I mean, what are they going to do next?
Of about 15 of us, only a few CBU folks.
And yesterday you said you're going to start a strategy, a campaign strategy.
In that way to you in just a minute.
It does not appear to be as active right now. I'm hearing now from Sky 3 that some of those flashbangs, some of that smoke may still be thrown into the crowd. There's a number of people still out here. There's actually somebody standing right.
Answer the King. I need you guys to come on now. Let's go.
We're hiking, Chuck. We're hiking.
What's going on across the United States? The citizens have legitimate concern, and their concern shouldn't be taken lightly because there were people outside, and their reports of what happened actually is different than what the police report. I think the body cameras are going to be very important in the development of the case. But taking anyone's innocent child who is killed in the same city, the chief of police was forced to resign shortly after he called for the investigation of Jonathan Farrell's killing. And that is totally unfair. It's injustice to say that he had to resign because law enforcement said they would not work underneath him.
Right.
So there has to be a space for the citizens to express their concerns without portraying them as deviants or saying they are the problem.
And that's what you want to make sure is happening tonight.
Yes, we know we have a problem when you have the largest prison population in the world. We know we have a problem when some ethnic groups are 3 times more likely to be incarcerated, even for committing.
I don't. They did. They were throwing water bottles. They were throwing rocks. I was right in the scene. They destroyed a couple of.
Tell her to come back.
They destroyed a couple of the police cars. I don't condone any of that. They are all police officers are not bad. Let's just say that.
Your light went off?
Okay. All police officers are not bad. Okay? But what I'm saying is there is something going on across this nation that needs to be addressed. So the throwing of water bottles and destroying city vehicles, I don't condone that. By no means. But as far as my child, my nephews, I am concerned, I'm worried about them. Something has to be done, whether it's our city leaders, whether it's our state leaders, these presidential candidates that are coming onto the scene. Something has to be done. There was a terrorist, New Jersey, New York. He was taken alive. They said they wanted to question him. So because of you wanting to question him, does his life mean more than our black men across the nation? It doesn't make any sense.
What did you think when you heard police say he had a gun and then the family say no, he had a book?
Where's the gun? Has anybody come out and say this is the proof he had the gun?
You want to physically see it.
I want to physically see it, and even if so,
just because somebody have to put a picture on TV saying, okay, he had a gun, but at least prove to us that he had a gun. Because his family is saying that he had a book.
Even if he did have a gun, does that mean you take his life? Right. You can shoot in the leg,
and then they tase him.
You can shoot in the arm.
And then
police
they
officers are trained.
Can you 21 really need for you to shoot him? If you tase him, that means you.
Every situation that you come across,
you put him in a situation where he can't do any more harm to you. If you tase him. So if you tase him, why did you shoot him 4 times?
Every situation does not cause for deadly force. And these police officers need to know the difference. How can we sit here and trust the ones that have been given the authority to protect us? When we get into a situation and we need help, we call them. But now they're the ones that are killing us. So what do we do now? Who do we call?
Nobody.
Who do we call? And then you have protests like this, and most of these are young college students. Most of these are young college students. They're killing doctors, they're killing lawyers, they're killing maybe future police officers. You don't know the heart of that man or that woman, that life that you took. You don't know. Every situation does not cause for deadly force, and these police officers need to go through the necessary training. They need to go through necessary training. A cosmetologist has to go and get recertified through the board every year. But these police officers, it takes 6 months for them to become a police officer. Exactly. Somebody needs to do some psychological testing on these individuals. Right. They need to know, we need to know that they are suited to get out here and man the society. The mass. This is just not acceptable.
And that's why you came out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I asked her, let's come out.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't have a record. I am a law-abiding citizen. Exactly. I have to get up and go to work. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm tired of sitting on my couch just watching this go on. For my daughter Denaja's sake, I want her to know that you have to stand up for something or you will fall for anything. You have to stand up for something or you will fall for anything. Something has to be done. Something has to be done.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Can I get you to spell your name for me so I get it right?
It's N as in Nancy, I-C-H-E-L, Dunlap, D-U-N-L-A-P.
Renee Davidson, R-E-N-A-E.
Okay, and Davidson?
Davidson.
Thank you.
So much. Are you both from
Thank
Charlotte?
you so much. I am.
What part of Charlotte?
I live uptown.
Oh, you live in Uptown?
We both are from Uptown Charlotte.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Be safe.
I will.
Adams to Henson, we don't have anything up here in staging. I think they're all deployed. Robert and Major Adams, we have 2 squads getting ready to leave the warehouse now. We're 17 up to where Captain Henson's located. So we got to clear that bridge before we can work the crowd on the bottom. Back 10-4. Nancy, can you advise which on these? Block 10-9.
SD to Hanson, what is it that you need before you'll be able to give dispersal and go offensive there on 85?
All right, Courtney Francisco here with WCCB with photojournalist Corey Epps.
Southbound lane open so the vehicles can get off on the off-ramp onto Harris. We've got the bridge over 85 is pretty much packed, and we need to get the people off that bridge. And then northbound 85 is completely blocked off. I'm thinking looks like about 150 people.
Temple, what's your assets right now?
I have 1 CD squad, about 30. The southbound taking. I'm not sure about the bridge, and I don't see anybody yet on the northbound side.
That sounded like maybe another flashbang as we get closer to the crowd, if you heard that.
On the rail. King to SD, we got an officer injured from here. We need one to be back on the ramp. Where are you? 85 southbound ramp. We're going to leave one truck into.
Alright, I guess we can park here.
We'll be there. You will be over there. We got to call for northbound south here in a second.
If you zoom in, you can see the crowds right there. That's where the flashbangs have been going off and smoke is going into the air. And the protesters kind of run back when that happens.
Temple, where are you and how many CU squads you have with you? Command to Henson.
Go ahead.
Is 85 southbound open?
We are getting ready to open it in about a minute. As soon as I can run up here to the trooper.
If you look over to the left, you can see those cars are blocking the road, Old Concord Road. People are on top of it.
What? I mean, I said 4 is almost completely blocked with cars and people.
How many you need? I can send you some.
Alright, Henson's holds one side of 85 with 30. You would need probably everything that you could spare to try to do anything on the other side of 85, which is completely blocked along with the ramp over top of that. We have to do the ramp first.
Flying overhead.
Yeah, the only way we can do that, Chief, is we get the city bus up here to transport.
CMPD helicopter.
Because we're up here at the intersection.
Adams to shore, Henson.
Hey, Henson, you got a guy laying down in front of your southbound lane blocking that truck.
Can I get a shot of the helicopter?
Adams to shore, Henson. Temple, we got it. We're headed that way. Go ahead. Hey, just Pier 14, you have a battalion chief to link up with one of you all there for medical treatment as you need it. You got a whole new squad coming over there. Okay. Milk and Engine, where's your injured officer?
DJ Prince, sit down. You already know what's going on, man. Take breezy. Return to real rap. Trap.
Yeah, I got an injured officer here. He's taking a break. Medic's checking on him.
Is your throat burning?
Adams to Dan. Check in with him to see what he needs there at 85 and Harris on your way in.
Those guys just said protesters are going to walk all the way down W.T. Harris. I guess we'll see.
No, you can block it up to University City. You can see all the way to 7. Yeah.
It's blocked at University City Boulevard.
Eleven 1025. Do we need tow truck somewhere? I have 2.
There goes a medic. One person in the back. I mean, it could be, it might not be a protester. It could be just anybody.
Southbound 85 at Harris. I'm down on the interstate.
And another flashbang, if you heard that.
Still Major Adams. Still Major Adams. I'm going to pull 20 from here. Or get somebody to Captain. That's it. Would you still have that bus down there? I don't know where the bus is now. I got it on the 85 here and here.
I'm gonna get.
We can probably put that one right in the back of the vans. We can transport them.
All right, guys, we're gonna walk. If you remember, we just heard another flashbang.
Follow the dance, go ahead.
Hey, drop all those guys off. Answer, where's the best place to drop these guys off so we can help there, and then we'll shoot the vans
We're just
over
walking a little
so
closer.
they can bring some more assets over.
We're going to have to come
move to the
down
right
Harris, going westbound on Harris, and come down the long way to 85.
So they'll be going down the northbound lane
Walk a little
to
closer.
85, and then once they get down there, they'll see everybody just right there on that side.
We're at Harris Boulevard West.
Two vans that are coming up here, north Tryon to Harris, westbound on Harris to the northbound off-ramp onto Harris. I'll meet you there. My lights will be on. Once you drop off, you can go pick up more guys where fuel's at.
Hey, Rob, I'm on the other side of the interstate, so I'll just have to communicate via radio.
ST vans, how many troops you have? I don't have any with me right now. I'm waiting on the two vans coming from the warehouse, so I'll have two squads. And then they're going to, once they drop off, they're going to go over to fuel. We can pick 20 more up, so we'll have probably about 40 or so.
Yeah, we've been here all day covering both sides.
That's right, balanced concern.
And
the other issue you must remember is police were exonerated for killing Jonathan Farrell just around the corner. Okay, so these people have a legitimate concern. And it's
Tell me a little bit about that. Let's talk about that concern a little bit. What's your name, first of all?
14 in the two vans.
Well,
let's stay closer to him.
I don't really care to, I don't have to give my name for me to help you understand.
Help our viewers understand why you are here.
I think this is a public concern that in the city of Charlotte in broad daylight, you had someone who was shot with conflicting reports about what happened. This is the same city where a college kid was shot to death right around the corner from here. Okay, and the officer who did the shooting was actually exonerated from the case. And yesterday, we had a fatal shooting of a black male in Tulsa as well. So you have Jonathan Farrell, you have Michael Brown, you have Trayvon Martins, you have all this going on across the United States. The citizens have a legitimate concern, and their concern shouldn't be taken lightly, because there were people outside and their reports of what happened actually is different than what the police report. I think the body cameras are going to be very important in the development of the case. But taking anyone's innocent child who is killed in the same city, the chief of police was forced to resign shortly after he called for the investigation of Jonathan Farrell's killing. And that is totally unfair. It's injustice to say that he had to resign because law enforcement said they would not work underneath him. So there has to be a space for the citizens to express their concerns without portraying them as deviants or saying they're the problem.
And that's what you want to make sure is happening.
Yes, we know we have a problem when you have the largest prison population in the world. We know we have a problem when some ethnic groups are 3 times more likely to be incarcerated, even for committing the same infractions or no infractions. We know there's a problem that's bigger than individuals.
And so, just to break it down as simple as possible, you feel discriminated against.
I'm not saying me personally. There's a systemic problem when you have ethnic groups of people who are 3 or 4 times more likely to be incarcerated for the same or for committing no infraction. A police officer killed an unarmed person yesterday in Tulsa who did nothing wrong. How is that fair? How is it fair that just around the corner these people are protesting because someone else was killed and shot over 14 times to death who was unarmed in a college student? A lot of these kids here go to school, they're in college. Let's not portray them as deviants. That's not fair. So we need balanced reporting, and also people who are doing law enforcement, they also need to be held accountable to uphold the law, not to break the law and abuse the law. So there are conflicting reports. Public protest is a natural part of human discourse. That's the only way we get at justice. So this is healthy that the community responds. Give or take, if you or your loved one had passed in questionable circumstance, that people in the community came out is fair and it's the responsible thing to do.
Were you here whenever the cop car was smashed, and what did you say during that?
No, I don't think I was here for that, but what do you say about when a kid who is going to college got shot 14 times and the officer was exonerated? What does that say? Do you have any empathy for that human being? That's a person. How does the community get a chance to express itself when it feels that there is no justice for it?
And what's your name again, sir?
I'm just Greg, that's fine.
Answer the command.
All right.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Yes.
Let's give a quick recap to our online viewers about what happened today. We arrived out here after police confirmed that an officer shot and killed a man. The family said that was Keith Scott, and police eventually confirmed that as well. And his family says he was waiting on his son at the school bus stop when police approached him. Police say he had a gun. His family says he had a book, so you have a conflicting report right there. And people began to protest shortly after that, and that's when you're seeing this right here. You can see police are in a line here. You can see the reflective gear on their shields on the other side of that green light. And then most of the protesters are over here with us. And that's where we're at right now.
That's 4, but okay, that's 4.
All right, done. Squad 17. We're loading up in the van.
Listen to Dan. 3rd Deputy Chief Foster, once you get your platoon ready and geared up, let us know.
Yeah, why are you out here?
And we'll go ahead and do this because they're going to run that way once we send one of the pepper bombs over.
Tim, what's your last name?
I don't listen to the last name.
You don't want? Why not?
All right, my name's Tim Daly.
Yeah, 10-4 on that.
So I just drove up here and I saw what was going on, and I figured, I mean, I understand why all these people here are frustrated, and I agree with their frustration, and I get why they're pissed off. You know, it's frustrating when you see, like, I came over, I saw the cop car getting smashed and all that shit, and I was like, well, shit, that's like not what you want happening. Like, when people, I understand when people get frustrated and anger, we all can, like, resort to our worst. We all want to resort to our worst, like, inhibitions, but when you start smashing cars and throw rocks and that kind of stuff, it just feeds into the things that people don't understand from the outside, and then when that just gets shown in the media, you see, oh, a cop car getting smashed. You don't understand that there's plenty of people out here who are just standing out here peacefully and who just are just standing to protest. Like, we're here, we understand that that dude who got shot this afternoon, like I said, his life matters. It's screwed up. If I was sitting there in that car reading a book with my pistol as a person reading a book, I wouldn't have been shot, I bet you. That's probably not what would have happened, but it happens to this dude, and it happens to black people all over our country, and it's not right, and there are things that are wrong. But again, I agree, like, when you resorting to violence is an answer, and then it causes them to shoot tear gas at people, and like, no one needs to get shot with tear gas out here. Like, we're just trying to stand here and let people know, like, our presence is here, and we're pissed off about things, and it's not right that these people are just getting shot for no reason, in whether it's here, whether it's Tulsa, whether it's whatever. I mean, that dude in Tulsa, I was watching, look at the dude standing there with his hands up, and the person from the helicopter yells and says, oh, he looks like a bad dude. How do you know what a bad dude looks like from 5,000 feet up? And if I was standing there with my hands up, with my car broke down on the side of the road, am I a bad dude? I don't know if that happens. So it's frustrating. And I understand their frustration, but I mean, I don't think resorting to violence and whatnot is the answer, but I think if enough people just come out here and demonstrate peacefully and protest, I think that's good, because there are things that need to change in the way that things happen. And it's not right.
How long do you think this will stay, protesters will stay out?
Oh, God, tonight? I mean, I got work in the morning, and I just came out here. I said, screw it, just because. I mean, I'm still going to go in at 8 a.m., but I felt like, I just moved here, honestly. I'm not even from Charlotte. I'm not a Charlotte native, but I see what's going around in our country. I'm just a young kid. I want to be involved with things and be a part of the change that needs to happen. And so I was like, screw it, I'll come out here and show my support, because there are things that are wrong going on.
How do I spell your last name?
D-A-L-Y. No problem. Have a good night.
continue showing people what's going on here. A lot of people have dispersed. If you take a look around, I mean, a lot of people have dispersed compared to earlier.
No, they're not. They're down there. And
Yeah,
they're
tell
back
us
here.
what you. Oh, sorry. Tell me where they are and what's going on behind where we're at.
You said what? You said what?
You don't want to? Okay. Apparently, some protesters are saying people are further down. Let's take a look down Harris Boulevard here. We're standing here on a ramp to Harris Boulevard, I guess.
Still left on
Is that
University.
right,
Please switch over to CEU1.
Yeah,
All units
like
switching over to CEU1.
You see more police lights down there.
One more thing, I just want you to add this. If people were half as mad about the car getting destroyed as they were about this dude dying, then maybe things wouldn't be as
Be
bad.
advised, it appears that they tried to set a truck on fire on the northbound
Let's just
lanes
move
of
back a little
85.
bit, Corey.
Well, we're going to need CFD. Headquarters, we're going to need CFD as well. We have a fire on 85 northbound. They're going to have to come down the southbound ramp to get to it.
Switch over to CEU1. All units switch over to CEU1. We need you to off at University.
Hey, Corey, look what I'm reading. Let's just walk.
Good work. Command all CEU commands. Switch to CEU1. All switch to CEU1. System 13.
42010, officer standing by with a damaged police vehicle on any ramps from Old Concord, WT Harris, acknowledge.
To the left.
Hey, y'all been down there yet? Y'all go down there and see? Down there at the roadblock?
Yeah.
Y'all been down there? Yeah, we've got like giant
Is that off?
Nope. With the line?
I know. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Fights the change and the progress that actually needs to be made, and it makes it look way worse from people looking on the outside.
Hey.
Asshole.
Okay, they're alive if you want to put it on your shoulder.
Down here.
Looks like they're starting to. They're alive right now. Maybe down here? What's down here?
You ain't gonna
Condone that. I don't. They did. They were throwing water bottles. They were throwing rocks. I was right in the scene. They destroyed it. A cosmetologist has to go and get recertified through the board every year. But these police officers, it takes 6 months for them to become a police officer. Somebody needs to do something.
So for him, we're driving around a lot in here. If they're still in here, we'll probably flush them out. We're probably going to hit your left. 10-4 by Sutter's Run. 92-12-12. I'm out with the victim. They said that it looked like they just went straight out, probably back towards 73.
10-4.
92-12-12. Could be possibly a 1998 tan, gold, or silver Buick LeSabre with a right headlight out. He's saying the plate started with David John Mary.
22-13-63, 10-4. So were you at your 10-4?
Yeah, with the office.
Sir. 10-4, thank you.
male, bald, wearing fatigue pants, black and gold striped, long sleeve shirt. No weapons. No players. Thank you, ma'am.